Hi, my name is Brenda Lormel Raymond, oncology nurse practitioner, founder and lead consultant for VDI, a healthcare consulting company. In the United States, breast cancer remains a major concern, impacting countless lives. Breast cancer is the second leading cause of death among women, claiming thousands of lives each year. Black women are particularly affected. Today, we want to emphasize the importance of mammogram exams. Breast cancer affects millions of women nationwide, but early detection can save lives. A mammogram is a simple, non invasive procedure that can detect abnormalities in the breasts before they can be felt. By scheduling regular mammograms, you're taking charge of your health and increasing the chances of early detection, which leads to better healthcare outcomes. We urge all women, especially those over the age of 40 years old, to prioritize getting their mammograms. It's a small investment of time that can have great impact on your health. Let's unite as a community to support and uplift all women in this battle.
M'a dit bienvenue avec tout le monde qui a écouté l'émission. Non pas moi, c'est Ronald Bernard. Nous avons une émission ça qui c'est un round-up de activités Haitian Community Partners Foundation. Et pour ça, nous avons avec nous président et co-founder qui c'est Marline Amédée. Welcome, Marline.
Thank you, Ronald, for having me. Merci d'être au game jeudi. C'est un plaisir pour me lancer avec vous pour nous capables de parler qui ça Haitian Community Partners a fait pendant toute l'année 2023.
OK. Et émission on a fait en deux langues. On a commencé pour le partie en cap en créole. Côté nous a parlé avec Marline qui a parlé de tout travail Jean Lydia. Et aussi nous avons avec nous Mr. Tony Branch, who is the executive director of the Haitian Community Partner Foundation. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you, Ron Mercy. Thank you for having me here today. And although I won't be able to speak Haitian Creole, I am still Haitian because you have adopted me. So we have a great program today. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you. You are in the family. So, Marlene, on connaît un pile auditeur qui besoin qu'on ait plus et qui besoin qu'on ait ça. Haitian Community Partner Foundation, ça lié, ça nous fait et perspective pour année qui vient.
So, merci encore pour nous dire de que nous invité nous pour là pour venir parler. But again, n'a dit que one button parce que c'est
Yep.
one button parce que c'est show par Haitian Community Partners, but content que ou même host pour nous aujourd'hui pour capable gagner feedback de moi-même et de Tony pour bon un rapport qui ça Haitian Community Partners fait pendant toute l'année 2023. So, Haitian Community Partners, comme tout le monde connaît, c'est une non-profit organisation qui est dans Brockton, qui a desservi la communauté Brockton, que nous desservons tout le monde dans la communauté. Qui est haïtien, qui est canadien, qui est américain, qui est africain-américain. Depuis qu'on a besoin de service dans la communauté, nous-mêmes, dans Haitian Community Partners, nous sommes capables d'aider les gens, nous bailler service. Quel service que nous faisons? Nous faisons service éducation pour jeunes, et puis nous faisons service, nous baillons information sur les affaires santé. Nous travaillons en collaboration avec différentes organisations pour nous porter les ressources dans la communauté. Nous travaillons avec Cape Verdean Association, nous travaillons avec YMCA, nous travaillons avec Brockton Neighborhood Health Center. So, nous participons dans différentes activités qu'a fait dans la communauté haïtienne. But Haitian Community Partners, nous focus vraiment sur affaires jeunes timons, côté que nous aidons jeunes timons, nous travaillons avec eux dans l'école l'année dernière, que nous travaillons ensemble avec eux dans charter school, côté que nous faisons after school programme avec pour eux avec dans Oh, it's the charter school
No,
back
school,
then.
yeah.
So, après ça, nous travaillons ensemble avec nos immigrants qui viennent, côté que nous avons des ressources, que nous aidons ensemble avec l'immigration, nous aidons ensemble avec les papiers pour titiller, nous aidons ensemble avec qu'importe le problème que vous gagnez, que nous aidons ensemble avec eux. Gagner, c'est nous besoin pour entrer dans le shelter, côté que nous-mêmes aidons pour nous faire entrer dans le shelter. Nous travaillons encore, nous avons un programme ISOL qui gagne à soi, côté que nous avons plusieurs classes qui dans l'organisation, côté nous avons une classe anglaise, que nous avons deux classes, un jeudi, un mardi, que on vient apprendre anglais pour être capable d'intégrer dans la communauté. So, tout à l'heure, nous parlons plus des activités que nous faisons pendant toute l'année. Mais en général, c'est tout ça que Haitian Community Partners fait. Nous là pour nous mettre close, pour nous capables de fermer espace qui gagne dans la communauté quand il s'agit de services que y a dans la communauté Bocton. C'est le rôle ça que nous-mêmes nous jouons dans Haitian Community Partners.
Oui, pour nous expliquer toutes les grosses activités ça, que vous faites. Et avec nous, tant qu'immigrants qui viennent, nous avons des services. Et qui bagaille nous comme si nous avons plus besoin de support, soit de sites à côté nous, ou bien soit de sites pour aider l'organisation, à aider nous. On nous dit de publier toujours.
Si on va parler de support, mais si on va dire c'est support financier. Nous avons besoin parce que ça encore, nous ne sommes pas capables de faire service que nous avons. Parce que nous avons besoin d'argent pour capable embaucher un professionnel pour faire travail là, ou bien pour embaucher pour provider pour faire un travail à côté. So, l'argent, c'est le premier ça que nous avons besoin de administration, support administratif dans Bocton ou bien dans l'autre entité dans ce state là. Mais nous dégageons quand même pour nous joindre des fonds pour nous capables d'aider à le support que nous supposons bailler new flow immigrants qui viennent.
Parce que c'est un coup, veut dire, c'est graisse cochon, capri cochon dans le moment ça là.
Je ne pas dire ça. Je ne pas dire ça. Je ne pas dire ça à 100% parce que nous avons des fonds que nous joignons de DPH, nous avons des fonds que nous joignons de l'autre donnant qui baille des fonds côté que pour capable de faire travail là. So, je ne vais pas dire à 100% que c'est graisse cochon.
Il y a coup de cochon. Well, okay, so on dit que nous allons parler plus
de l'activité que nous faisons toute l'année. So, on a parlé de ça, je n'ai pas entré en anglais, so nous sommes capables d'inviter.
Juste pour Tony.
Yes.
Okay, so Tony, as we one more time welcome.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna dive in the activities of HCP. So, what are the activities that you have now, and what new activities probably, I don't know, you just initiated?
Right. So one of the things that we've been doing, so I'm going to kind of like fast forward to some of the newer work that we're doing because I think it's important. HCP is very well known with respect to the after-school program, the ESO program, our youth development program. But what folks are not necessarily aware of the great work that we're doing around the motels and the hotels that have come online across the Commonwealth. Specifically, Marline has done some great work. We try not to name the hotels or the motels for security reasons. For privacy reasons. We do believe in HIPAA. But I can tell you that the work that has been done around wraparound services, specifically, what are the needs of the families? We're doing intake. Secondly, with the needs of the families, what do we do with that assessment? How do we transfer that information to various state agencies? One of the things that Marline and I love to explain it is we may not can do the work within the perimeter of our office, but we clearly, HCP, not knocking anyone else,
we are the strongest advocate for the Haitian community. And we say this because you come to our office, you're not paying for ESOL. You come to our office, you need cafe services. When I say cafe services, access to our computers, to get on the internet to apply for jobs. You're not paying for those services. You need assistance with your math health redetermination. We're doing that. You're not paying for those services. One of our community engagement specialists, Layla, she does a lot of work with respect to the immigration applications. They're not paying for that. So we're offering our services completely free, and we think that that's very important because one of the things that I know that I've taken from our foundation leadership, which is Marline, is that we want to be able to give folks the best foot forward, and that can't come by going into their pocket asking for money that they don't have. So again, we're providing free services. So let me tell you a little bit about the motel. So what we're finding out is that folks have been fast-tracked. We worked on a particular project. I think we could say the community.
Yes.
I think we could say Reading. So we worked on a fast-track project with DHS, with DPH, and some other organizations to make sure people were fast-tracked with their work permits. So now that they have their work permits, they've been approved for that, we realize that the Commonwealth now needs to provide additional seats for ESOL. We want our migrants to be able to safely work in an environment where they can read an MSDS sheet, where they can look at doing fire drills if they're going to do security work. And let me challenge people, because there's a myth that our Haitian community, our families are coming here and they're simply looking for a service job. That is absolutely not correct. Many that have come here are degreed in nursing and have doctorate degrees. So they may start off in the service industry to get a leg up, but I can tell you the goal is to make sure that their credentials are accepted here in the United States and making sure that they have a fair opportunity with respect to equity to get into those jobs where they can make the biggest impact to our culture. And why do I say that? It is different coming from Haiti and trying to transform into the American, the integration piece that we often talk about. I can remember that when you study the civil rights movement in the 60s and the 70s and in the 80s, we often talk about civil rights and immigration policy around what? Assimilation. I don't want you to assimilate. I want the best of your culture to come here to do what you want to do. And what do we hear from the motels and hotels? We're here to work. We're here to work. So again, we're doing a holistic approach to emotional services, emotional support. We're looking at building a contractual relationship with Haitian mental health professionals. So that is in the works. We want to be able to have people that what we used to call wellness Wendy's, but to have people to be able to come in to have conversations about the trauma they experience, but not only to have those conversations, but to make sure that they are being placed consistently with clinical appointments. Again, it's really about that holistic approach. It's just not a one-off. And I think that that's what we're being very careful with, to make sure that people are receiving consistent trauma support for what they've experienced. I recently testified 2 months ago about all kids coverage. Marline and I are supporting the initiative around making sure that all immigrant children 21 and under are on mass health. That is currently not the law. So a part of my testimony is talking about this 15-year-old that traveled through various countries, pregnant, lost family members, lost her child on her way here. Again, there are serious traumatic events that we have to own morally. We're opening the door, we are welcoming people, that we have to own their recovery. At HCP, it's about owning the recovery and making sure that these programs are a good fit. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And also, I just want to add on what Bishop said when we said we don't charge anyone for any of our services. For example, if we apply for a grant, we got the grant. The grant already covered everything that we said on the grant that we're gonna do. Why go into deep down to the pocket of someone who just come here, who's in need, doesn't have any money, so to get some money from them to help them with ESOL, to help them with applying for just having them, So because we are a non-profit organization, our job is to support people that come in here so they can integrate in the community and to be fully invested in the community.
And they are.
Which what which what they are. So remember the two brothers that
Right.
came on the Biden
Yes.
project?
Terry,
and
yeah.
Terry and what's the other one? I forgot his name.
It's
But
currently a volunteer.
listen, there you go. That's what I want to come to. So we embrace them. We help them with certain things. Now they come and giving back, volunteer in our organization,
And let's talk,
helping.
right. And we need volunteers, and I just want to make sure that we don't lose that. So, I mean, we're a nonprofit receiving a very limited amount of grant funding. One of the things that people don't realize is that, so I initially started off on the board of directors. Then I began to volunteer my services in terms of project administrative services. Same with Marline, but there's just a limited amount. If you're committed to the work, you understand there's a limited amount of funding that is actually out there.
Definitely.
So, I mean, so we're looking for volunteers, especially we have a waiting list now, 498 people on our ESOL, and that continuously grows because people walk through the door and they says, well, but when can I give you the $150? And we're like,
no. But with that said, Tony, so when we call out for volunteer, so we just assigned 2 hotels. So we end up, yesterday we went to one of them. So when we assessing the needs, one thing that they said, we need some English class.
Yeah.
So again, if we have retired teachers
please.
who's willing to help giving those classes, come in and volunteer and help us dealing with those crises that we are dealing with on a daily basis.
How they come to HCP for the class, or because why I asked the question? It's
Good
about
question.
Yeah.
The transportation. We know when they at the hotel.
Right.
Many of the hotel, where they
So it's
situated,
different.
located.
No, it's a very good. It's a very
Yeah.
good question. So I was just talking to one of my colleagues. I'm on a regional school committee, and I'm going to be working with. There's a nonprofit in Attleboro that has. This is what concerns me is that the Commonwealth is rich in resources. There are enough resources to absorb a lot of this. We're not connected as a
all together.
network.
There you go.
And Marlene and I have been making this argument on so many different calls. So there may be some seats open in Attleboro. There may be seats open in Canton.
Yeah.
So for us, it's for me to look at it and say, okay, I go to that 498 people. How can I send 75 to them to these different locations? I need to put in a grant for transportation.
Transportation.
And that's what it's really about. Again, there may be seats that are open, but to your question, we need to make, they remain our students.
Yeah.
But make sure that they're, if we can't use them within the real estate of HCP, that we're able to transport them out. Now I'm also going to say this, because Marlene and I have been working on, there's real estate in the city of Brockton.
Yeah.
There's real estate in the town of Randolph. These municipalities, these politicians got to get on board to understand that if you open this real estate up to CBOs, to nonprofit organizations that have been successful. Now remember, HCP has a resume. I'm being respectful.
Yeah.
There are a lot of startups. HCP has a resume. Marlene has a resume. I have a resume. We're not newbies to this. Those of us that have been doing this work, this nonprofit work for decades, need to be able to say to this town of Randolph, the city of Brockton, we know you have that building over there. We just need to put some chairs in there. We need to turn the heat on, the lights on. I need an ESOL teacher in there 3 to 4 hours a night. We can do this if it's all hands on deck.
Okay.
But again, with the bureaucracy,
Yeah.
but again, with the political involved, so
Yeah.
make it very difficult to serve the community as we wish to.
Right.
So again, when you have migrants coming to your town, to your community,
Yes.
and then we embrace them,
Yes.
we support them the right way, guess what? You invest in the future of that community.
Correct.
Yeah.
But if we don't do that, the next 10 years, the next 5 years, we will be sorry for that.
I think that, we've talked about this. I know I talk about this on my own radio program. There is a misnomer out there, Ron.
Okay.
And that misnomer is that they're illegal migrants, illegal. That is, audience, that's not true. They're either here on the Biden program or they've received the status because they're claiming they are legally here. And I think that people are like, no, they're not. Yes, they are.
They are.
I mean, these rumors have gotten around. These rumors have gotten around TB. A lot of stuff that
Especially
is
on
going on
social
that is
media.
not true. Social media
Yes.
is damning. It's
damning to
damning
them.
to our community
Yes.
because a lot of this stuff is simply not true. They have illegals. If they have a work permit, people. And I'm saying, if they have that work permit, they are fine to work here. They have a legal status. All we're saying is let's also give them that step up of that ESOL. They're not looking to be on any public benefits. That's all these misnomers we have to be able to cartel because they simply are not true. They're here to work and they're here to work hard. One is, let me I know Marlene's let me say, the reason why I love talking about this because it reminds me of my family and it reminds me of my family that are both from Ohio and Mississippi, where we have mom, where we have dad, we have married couple. One of the things that I love about the nucleus of it is the nuclear family that we've all witnessed in the United States of America. So I have to challenge people as an American that these rumors, these misnomers have to stop because these folks are here to make significant contributions. I'm sorry, Marlene. That's in my spirit. And it makes
you know, as an American, it's part of our duty to embrace people.
I love that word, duty. Right.
So therefore, we need to embrace them, give them a place, make them feel like a home.
Right.
So therefore, they can return the favor back 10 years from now.
Right.
Because those children that they have here, they're going to be the next American.
That's right.
And they're going to be the children that are going to take care of our social security.
Right.
They're going to be the next lawyers. They're going to be the next doctors.
Politicians.
So they're going to be the next politicians. So if you don't invest, if you don't embrace them, give them the support that they need.
Right.
Come on, people.
Right.
What's going to happen? Do you think it's just going to happen by just...
No.
Just like that?
And that's the genesis. And if you look back at 2013, that's the genesis of Haitian Community Partners. Haitian Community Partners Foundation really was around the youth development piece, understanding that, college bound, understanding financial literacy, understanding technology, understanding community organizing was the future to move our Haitian community forward. So for me, we're in a great position to continue this leadership. A lot's to come, but it really depends on, also that the professionals that are within our community need to be hands-on too. I need these pediatricians. I need these mental health.
We need all of them. We need all of them to be on
as
the
you
table.
mentioned, and you talk really, a lot of information about the program, activities going on. So what an activity that, let's say for next year, that really in need of support. When I say support, we're not talking about only volunteer. We're talking about
financial support.
So we definitely need, and then the top of my list right now is really going to be the mental health piece. And I'm sorry, we're not going to get away. So as a person that's on the school committee, I know from the children that remain home during COVID are still in post-pandemic recovery. Mental health is a big piece, both in terms of young adults and our older folks like me that are much more mature. We need that. We're going to need dollars from DPH or whatever organization. Marlene and I have built a tremendous relationship with DMH because they have a lot of funding as well, free services as well. Well, we're going to need to have folks readily available. We're going to need to have a mental health network readily available to assist us in the reduction of trauma. And let me also say this. The education piece is big. What people don't talk about is the work Marlene did 4 or 5 years ago around, and Marlene never toots her own horn, but I need to say this. So she talked about the stigma. And I never forget the stigma within the Haitian community. And I said, that's all us black folks. We don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about psychiatric services. And you gave that a very strong argument. You built that relationship with the churches. We have to talk about building a network, and it's going to cost dollars. And I'm going to tell you, when you look at the migration, whether it's Haiti or any place else, I can tell you that ESOL is they're going to need so many. We're going to need so many seats. That those two pieces, because remember, the ESO leads us to workforce development.
Yep.
Yes.
They are connected.
Yeah, they're so connected. So mental health support and ESO, for me, tremendously needs to be a part of this discussion. But there's a third one that needs immediate assistance. I know you're talking about future activity. We are in dire need in the hotels and motels around cultural foods. I'm gonna let Marline. She's
Yeah. So, but one thing to go back on the mental health piece, that Haitian Community Partners is working with a group of with Pastor Luma, so that we have a program starting the first week of January. It's a 9 weeks program until first week of January until April, where Haitian Community Partners will provide some mental health awareness, mental health literacy for some churches. So, and then at the end of those workshop, we will do certification, because we do have, I am a certified adolescent first aid.
First aid, yep.
So, and then we have Leila in our office that's certified as well. So we will do a certification for some of the parents on psychological first aid for those churches to have. And also we will start again with the mental health piece through the shelters that we are going to. So we're going to put a support group in a few churches that to talk about mental health literacy and social integration.
The signs.
Yes, the sign and self-care. So we will do a support group in those shelters for probably 5 weeks. 5 weeks. So that's one of the that's how we're going to start the year strong with the mental health. So people need to be aware of certain signs, the stigma that keeping them from accessing services. We have to let them know mental health is an illness as all the other illness. It's like you have you diabetic. It's like you have cancer. It's like it's an illness. So therefore we need to address it so we can have proper treatment. So therefore, that's what Haitian Community Partner going to focus for the first leg of the year. And also in April, we have a big gala coming.
That's right, it's coming up.
Coming up.
You mentioned about the big gala coming up. So is there like kind of a goal, like in terms of fundraising campaign, that you might have a goal for the year for the organization based on all the activities like that? You need support for them, and so the donors, they can hear, like, have an idea like what to expect. Like,
so usually we always put it in the lower end. So say we need to raise $25,000. But this year our goal to see if we can raise $50,000, because with the new migrant, the services is bigger, and then we need more work, more hands. The needs are higher. So therefore, our goals this year is to see if we can raise $50,000 during our the month of April, so that to see that how we can continue to do the work. Because without the support, without the help, we cannot do it. So it's not Marline, it's not Tony. So it's a community as whole that's helping us to do the job that we are doing, to be able to help those migrants. And also, I'm continuing to emphasize that we need to pay attention to those migrants closely, because if we're not supporting them the right way, so we will be in deficit.
Yes, right.
So we need to support them the right way. It's like we're putting money in the bank. If we don't do that, we will be in deficit.
Okay. So how would you say about the impact of those activities on the community? Like the feedback you receive, like how could you express and explain so people they can understand?
I'll let Tony start.
Well,
and then I'll
let me
finish.
tell you, I think the greatest impact that I've witnessed is really the work around ESOL, how happy people are to graduate from their class, that they know the basics of English, how happy that they are that they can literally look at a job application and kind of understand the basics. I think that's one of the clearest success. With respect to the after-school program that we've had, to see the kids smiling and glad that they've graduated, but not only have they graduated, that they realize that this is Marlene's quote, where she said that you all always have a home at HCP. Isn't that what this is all about?
Yeah.
To make sure that those success stories are realized. When you look at, and you're part of, there's a small business navigator program, how these small businesses can now do some bookkeeping.
Yeah.
They're not intimidated by, can I say the word, Excel?
Yeah.
So I think that folks having, and I hope it's okay if I use your quote, a home to come back to, I think that's the greatest of success. That people know they can return back to HCP and they can receive additional advice, additional services. But not only that, we're opening the door for you to join us in terms of volunteerism. So you'll be able to you'll be able to give back your success to someone else's up and coming, whether it be after school ESOL or the Small Business Administration.
Okay. Well, all the viewers, as we are doing the roundup with the Haitian community partners, and we have with us, Marline Amédée, who is the president and co-founder, and we have Tony Branch, who is the executive director. So we are about to close this conversation that we've had, and I really enjoy it. And
Thank you.
I knew a lot.
Thank you for letting us come.
Okay, thank you.
So what we can say now, let me go with you first, Marline, about your last word, your last message to the community who's listening to this show from the Haitian community part.
Well, as a Brocktonian, some people will beg the difference.
I didn't say anything.
I am Brocktonian at heart, So we are a great city.
Yes.
We are a city of champion. We are one Brockton. So I know it is our obligation. We are obligated to support the new migrant that come to our city. We are obligated to give them a home call it as home, because those migrants, they went through a lot.
Yes.
So they need a place where they can call home. So Brockton is their home. So we, as citizens of Brockton, I'm asking you, with Haitian community partners, let's continue to support those migrants. Let's continue to make them feel welcome. Let's continue to invest in them. As I mentioned earlier, we are making deposit. We're depositing some money to them. So therefore, in the long run, we will have a good benefit. If we don't do that, it will be a deficit for our community. So thank you, Ron.
Well, thank you, Marline.
For the time.
Tony, what is your last word?
My last word is that our motto is a new day, new beginning, new vision, and I think that we have expressed that. But to Marlene's point, it's really about being neighbors of each other. So let me be really clear, because I love demographics. So the Haitian community is the largest demographics that is growing fast in the city of Brockton. I suspect in less than a decade we will have a Haitian mayor. I suspect that we will have a large amount of our community that will probably be on our school committee. In saying that, change is happening, and it's happening now. And the best that we can do as people that are in our community is to make sure that we know, love, and make sure that we're welcoming everybody. So for me, it's a partnership with the entire community, and it's all about making sure that everyone is on board to do the best for the city of Brockton.
New day, new beginning, new vision.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She said it. I'm just saying.
OK.
That's who we are.
Merci tout viewer qui t'attendait. Non pas M. Ronald, et me content pour me présenter segment ça. Nous te gagnons avec nous Marline Amédée, qui est président de Haitian Community Partner, et nous te gagnons Tony Branch, qui est executive director. So thank you all for listening. It's Ronald Bernard, and I am glad to present the show in which I have Marline Amédée as the president and co-founder of the Haitian Community Partner, and Tony Branch, who is the executive director. Thank you both for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
We will see you in the next show.
See you next year.
Next year. Happy New Year.
Hi, my name is Brenda Lormel Raymond, oncology nurse practitioner, founder and lead consultant for VDI, a healthcare consulting company. In the United States, breast cancer remains a major concern, impacting countless lives. Breast cancer is the second leading cause of death among women, claiming thousands of lives each year. Black women are particularly affected. Today, we want to emphasize the importance of mammogram exams. Breast cancer affects millions of women nationwide, but early detection can save lives. A mammogram is a simple, non invasive procedure that can detect abnormalities in the breasts before they can be felt. By scheduling regular mammograms, you're taking charge of your health and increasing the chances of early detection, which leads to better healthcare outcomes. We urge all women, especially those over the age of 40 years old, to prioritize getting their mammograms. It's a small investment of time that can have great impact on your health. Let's unite as a community to support and uplift all women in this battle.